Thank you guys. Hi, we are Team BitRights. Our goal is to streamline content monetization on the Ethereum blockchain. We're trying to make the process of licensing content as simple as sending payment via Venmo. Chris and I are from Columbia Business School, and we also have engineers from Columbia College. Our backgrounds are as diverse as media and entertainment, corporate consulting, Ethereum blockchain engineers, and full-stack developers. Our mission is to help content creators capture more value. And our vision is a world that inspires and creates and protects artistic expression.
Great. So I'd like to take a minute to talk to you all about raccoons this morning. So I have a cousin named Casey, and she goes to UConn. And one day she was walking across campus, and she saw a raccoon crawl into her trash can. And like any good millennial does, she called the cops and then whipped out her iPhone to record it. And she recorded this.
What?
And so, she took that video and she put it on her Instagram page, and it kind of blew up within that UConn community. So much so that someone actually reached out to her and said, hey, I would really like to purchase this video from you. So how do I do that? Well, Casey doesn't know how to do that, and so she called her dad. She continued the conversation on Instagram. She continued the conversation via email, then signed a document with the person and exchanged payment, all separately. This is a really inefficient process, and it doesn't really resonate with the way that people consume and use content today. So you can also see that the person who bought this from her uses the same type of licensing process for their own work. It's something that we can improve. Okay, here's a sample digital content license. If you look at that, what do you notice? One, it's transparent. It's not transparent. It's really long. In addition, it's exchanged via email, so that's cumbersome. There's also multiple signatures, which could take additional time, and there's a separate payment process. These things are really not aligned, and that's what we're trying to help with at BitRights. We talked to more than 100 people, and what became clear was there's no real clear path to payment, and that's because too many distribution channels exist. There's too many ways you can put content out there. There's too many intermediaries that sit between the creator and the consumer. There's a really short window for monetization, which means something that's really monetizable today may not be next week. So you have to capture that value when you can. And last, IP infringement is still rampant within the industry. It's a problem that's been there for a while. So what do we do at BitRights? We do 4 things. One, we allow Casey to go onto the BitRights platform and register her raccoon video before anyone else can claim that they own that. That creates a permanent record that's publicly memorialized on the Ethereum blockchain. No one can change that. That's a powerful notion in today's day and age. Second, that feeds into the verification part of what we do. If Casey ever gets into a dispute around who or what, who owns her content, the blockchain provides a level of data quality that creates immutable copyright protection. No one can change that data record, ever. And so that's why she can actually go back and more clearly and transparently resolve disputes that has existed in the industry prior to this. Third, we want to allow Casey to license that video easily. If she's in Starbucks and needs to be on the run while she's licensing it, if someone wants to buy it right at that moment, she'll be able to get a notification on her phone just like you would send a Venmo payment. And then that will create fast mobile and licensing for her. Last but not least, monitoring. We also want to allow Casey, once she puts her video out there, to create and incentivize the internet to track the existence of pirated material or IP infringement for her. Meaning, when she registers her file at the beginning, she can set a 10-cent bounty or a $5 bounty, depending on how much she wants people to look for her file on the internet. This creates a customizable way where you can actually incentivize the power of the internet to look for things for you when people are violating your IP rights. The result is that licensing and payment is faster and more secure than it has been before. Okay, let me walk you through a little bit about our demo. If Casey wanted to create a record on BitRights, she would go to our homepage. She'd then click register. Once you go there, she can choose whether or not she wants to share our data, or her data with us. That's a big topic around today. She'd then choose the video of the raccoon and create a digital fingerprint, which is this file hash. It's unique to that file. Then fill out all of the information related to who owns it and what it should be used for, That will then be publicly immortalized on the blockchain. You can see here that this transaction, this is a public page. It's being publicly immortalized on Ethereum. Once that is completed, you can view the file on our own platform on BitRights. Here's all the information she just input. You can see that there's 0 active licenses because it's brand new. Now what we're going to do is take that file and we're going to license it to someone else. That's what we're doing now. We're copying an address to which we want to license it to. Once we copy the address, you put it here and click Submit. Once again, we're going to take this file, which is now on the blockchain, and attribute it to another account, meaning we have licensed it. There's now 1 active license for the account, and you can see that the address is licensed. This infrastructure exists today, so we're going to build on that in the future.
We're going to charge a 2% transaction fee on all licensing and monitoring. And this is substantially lower than the 10% commissions that talent agents generally charge on behalf of their clients. We're also going to charge a subscription for any additional product features and use 3 tiers that target individual content creators, lawyers, talent agents, and then finally the larger content distribution platforms. File registration will be free for individuals, and then we'll waive the transaction fee for enterprises. We're playing in the $2 trillion global media and entertainment market. So to start, we're going to focus primarily on the $18.5 billion e-publishing and video on-demand market. 3 key facts to consider. First, 95% of media companies employ fewer than 10 people. This means that BitRights will help these companies capture a lot more value. Second, over $1 billion is spent on media monitoring alone. BitRights can essentially eliminate these costs. And finally, video on-demand subscriptions are growing substantially, which means that the opportunity for BitRights is only getting bigger. It's a kind of a competitive landscape out there, but we have 5 key competitive strategies that will put us above the rest. The first is that a lot of the other companies are not pairing blockchain technology with any other tech. BitRights is more than just a repository. We're creating a Venmo for licensing style application that makes that process of licensing content as seamless as possible. The second is a lot of our competitors are focused primarily in music and entertainment. BitRights is going to expand beyond these domains to focus on research, data analytics, virtual reality, social media, and graphic design. Third, we want to integrate within existing processes instead of trying to replace entire ecosystems. We're not just going to try to cut out the intermediaries. To do this, we're going to target small to mid-sized institutions, not just individuals. And finally, a lot of our competitors require network effects in order for them to be successful. BitRights is useful for the first user. Our product release is set for September 2018. We've already pitched to the Consensus Academy and have an active pilot with Columbia University. We're also fully enrolled in the startup track this summer and plan to be fully employed with BitRights for the remainder of the year. We hope you'll join us as we empower the content creators of tomorrow. Thank you.